What's up, guys? Today I'm finally gonna be giving my 2 cents on the whole Unity drama. I know it's very late. I should have covered this like 2, 3 weeks ago, whenever this was, still hot. But yeah, I still like this is gaming and within the realm of gaming news, so I kind of still want to cover this. So for those of you who are unaware, the company that handles Unity have changed their monetization model. So now I can't remember. I don't actually know what it was before. I can't really remember details. But basically now they're going to charge every time the Unity runtime is activated or run. Right. So like a lot of people have complained about it because it makes it more expensive and very easily exploitable. And by exploitable, I mean like if this game company uses Unity and then someone or a group of people like hate them, they can try to ruin their lives by trying to bot the Unity runtime with their games and try to run it as many times as possible, right? And like then that this said company could incur like as many fees as they can. So that's bad. So apparently they've already responded. This is like their second response. I don't know if they like walked it back or whatever changes they've made. So we're gonna watch Asmongold's video, Asmongold's take on their latest response. So let's go. Let's dive right in.
There has been an update.
Go.
There's been
Open
a
letter
situation.
to our
Unity
community.
has released an open letter
There we
to
go.
their community. I'm Mark Whitman, and I lead Unity Create, which includes the Unity engine and editor teams.
Okay.
I want to start with this.
I'm sorry.
I am so sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
We should have spoken with more of you, and
We
we
should
should
have
have incorporated more of
your
your
feedback.
before announcing our new
Runtime fee policy. So this is what I was talking about.
Our goal with this policy is to ensure that we can continue to support you today.
So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a subscription model, like originally, I think, or is it like you have to pay per assets? I don't really know because I'm not a game developer, and I actually did not go too deep into this drama because even though it is kind of important, it's something like beyond the realm of. It does still affect consumers though, because what happens if this pushes through and people still and game developers still keep using Unity, it's gonna cause a price hike. Like our $70 game is gonna be $80 soon, if if it does push through, but it probably won't, right? So yeah, like this runtime policy thing is the runtime fee policy is kind of outrageous.
And tomorrow, and keep deeply investing into our game engine. You are what makes Unity great, and we know that we need to listen and work hard to earn your trust.
Okay.
We have heard your concerns, and we are making changes in the policy we announced to address them.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Our Unity personal plan
there we
will
go. They
remain
discussed
free,
this.
and there will be no runtime fee for games built on Unity Personal.
Okay, so that's good because Unity Personal is kind of like for the beginners or like small, small creators, small businesses. This is good. So the personal plan is free.
We will be increasing the cap from 100K to 200K, and we will remove the requirement to use the Made with Unity splash screen.
Okay. There was a
Okay.
requirement to do that. To
Do people
pay for
care
that?
about that?
I don't know.
I don't know. No game with less than $1 million in trailing 12-month revenue will be subject to that fee.
Okay.
For those creators on Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise, we are also making changes based on your feedback. The runtime fee policy will only apply beginning with the next LTS version of Unity. LTS, what does LTS stand for?
Long-term service.
Long-term support version.
Support,
Okay, got it. Shipping 2024 and beyond. Your games
Okay.
that are currently shipped and the projects you currently are working on will not be included unless you choose to upgrade them to this newer version of Unity. So that's kind of good. I mean, I'll have to say that, like, basically they're saying anything that you're currently working on is not going to be related to the new policy.
Well, okay, some I see some of the chatters here say just don't upgrade. No, that's not what they meant. Like it's the game, right? I think you will still need to upgrade the Unity, the library and stuff. I think you will still need to do it, like the software itself. But if your game is using the older version, it's gonna keep using the older version like library and runtime, right? But the thing is, what they're saying here is like, we won't do it this year, but we'll do it next year. That's basically what they're doing. But it's a good thing, like the personal plan, the free one. I mean, the free one makes, I don't know, I don't know if the free one makes sense, but I guess it's all right. The pro, like the reality here is, guys, like big companies are probably not really gonna be affected as much with this. Like I think the ones that are gonna get hit hard if this actually pushes through are the smaller size companies, right? But then again, like I said, if someone's gonna do like a hate crime against this big company, it might spill trouble. So I don't know how they're gonna check, like the legit run times. I don't know, like maybe they have some technology for that, but I'm still kind of skeptical about this.
I think that's good. So yeah, never upgrade, exactly. We'll make sure that you can stay on the terms applicable for the version of Unity editor that you're using, as long as you keep using that version. For games that are subject to the runtime fee, we are now giving you a choice of either 2.5% revenue share or the calculated amount based on the number of new people engaging with your game each month. Both of these numbers are self-reported from data you already have available. You will always be billed the lesser amount. I'm going to be honest, guys. I think this is a really good paragraph. I unironically think this is a pretty good paragraph. This is good. How can you trust what they say if they literally change if they want to? Well, I bet probably the reason why...
I mean, the reality is any big company can do that, though. Like, any company can change. Like, it's even in their TOS. If you read the TOS, everything is subject to change. Like, it's hard to complain about that. It's hard to make that an argument because, like, every company can do that, right? Like, have you guys, like, seen, like, a big company make a post and then, like, at the bottom and it says, like, blah, 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 subject to change, right? So, that can't really be a very good argument. No, I'm talking about what the chat is saying. You can't read because I'm covering it and I don't want to move my body. So they're saying that, how can you trust them if they're just gonna change it, like that, blah blah blah. The reality is you can't trust anyone. You just can't because, anyone can change their minds anytime.
Walking a lot of this back is because the lawyers at Nintendo and MiHoYo told them that they're not able to walk it back. That's probably the reason. I would say that's probably the biggest reason. More so than people leaving. So yeah, but I mean, like, again, I will give credit where credit is due. This is a good paragraph.
Yeah, this is actually a good thing.
We want to continue to build the best engine for creators. We truly love this industry, and you are the reason why. I'd like to invite you to join me for a live fireside chat. Today, yeah, they had to wait till I was asleep to fucking do this because they didn't want me to react, I bet. It's, of course, all about me. So let's go ahead and read some of the comments that people have. Overall,
bitch, look at that. Look at that comment, bitch.
I think that this is obviously pretty good. Their response is about as good as you could have expected them to have. However, I don't really think that it's going to restore the trust that a lot of these businesses might have lost in Unity.
Okay, so here's my thought about things like this. I always give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna give them as many chances as they deserve to redeem themselves. I never out someone fully right away. I give them a chance as long as they deserve it. I think Unity deserves this chance to redeem themselves. And like obviously the purpose for all of this, I mean the reasoning behind the big change is money, right? They want to make money. Like, it's the biggest reason that a lot of pay-to-play model games turn into free-to-play, right? Because free-to-play makes more money. So that's just an example. It's not like I'm not saying this is the same as that, but you know what I mean. But again, they realized their mistake. They came out and said it, and they're willing to make changes. I think that's pretty good.
I think that it's going to stop people from immediately moving away from the software, especially knowing that these policies won't be applied immediately. So people will probably finish out their projects in Unity
And then move
based
after.
off of how Unity does in the next 6 months, a year, or 2 years, from whenever they finish that project in the future. They'll probably make a decision whether they want to leave Unity for good or not, which is going to probably depend on the current state of other development other development engines like Godot, Unreal, and I think there's another one that I don't remember. So that's probably what's going to happen.
So for those of you who don't know, Unity is one of the biggest game engines that is being used out there alongside Unreal Engine. There are others I'm not really familiar with. Like, I'm only really familiar with Unreal and Unity, because those are, like, you know, the most commonly used and commonly talked about game engines.
Unity turns into Mutiny. Oh, that's good. Very good.
Mutiny.
And, anyway, let's look at this.
Unity,
If I
mutiny.
understand correctly,
Look at that! Look at that comment, bitch. This arc might be my favorite.
First year of my game, made with Unity, reached more than $1 million USD, and more than 1 million people got it. That's whenever the fee starts. Hi there, no contact SpongeBob. It's correct. Yeah, I mean, overall, this is always.
I think it's okay.
definitely-
Like, it's kind of like taxes, you know, like in real life. You don't get taxed unless you reach a certain threshold of income. So, kinda is fair.
a huge improvement. That's the point that I'm making, right?
But if you're using Pro and Enterprise, you are, like, do take note, you are paying them a monthly sub or yearly sub or whatever, right? So you have to realize that as well.
It is that it is a huge improvement. It does make things a lot better, but I don't think it really solves anything else.
Yeah, that's
You guys
true.
see-
Like I said earlier, they're basically, what they said is, we're not gonna do it this year, but we're doing it next year. That's what exactly I said
You know
earlier.
what I'm saying?
We're gonna do it anyway.
Not negative 100 is still negative 50. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's basically
Yeah, the
it.
issue is the versatility. Well, I think the
Like
issue.
the score came from negative 200 to like negative 100, something like that. It's still negative, but it's a lot less worse.
Really is that people don't want to build a castle on sand. They don't want to go on the Unity and be like, okay, well, I want to invest the next 3 years of my life building a game on an engine that could just one day decide to change the rules.
Again, wait,
So I
again, that's not really a good argument, because every company can do that. Any company can do that. It's within their discretion to do that kind of thing.
That's the way a lot of people feel. Give the worst choice first so people can take the less worst one. Yeah, I don't think that's I don't think this one's really that bad, because it allows people to make a decision about the future, if that makes sense. It doesn't win back any of my trust on an incompetent team. Yeah, I kind of agree with that too.
That's
also,
true,
the
like-
previous policy sounded like it could have been acted on retrospectively. Yeah, something like that. Starting in November, you can't use Unity unless you have internet available. I think that's like kind of more of a meta thing, right? It's not really that big of a deal.
That's really happening everywhere. It's not just Unity. That's happening everywhere in everything, pretty much. You can't really do things without the internet these days.
But I can see kind of why people would be unhappy about that. Just overall, like, as I said, I don't think this is going to really bring a lot more people back to Unity or trusting Unity again. It's just going to keep people from leaving immediately, which is probably the best thing that they can do. Like, what Unity needs to rely on right now is to just simply tread water and hope that people forget. Yeah, it's just damage control, and that's it. It's just going to slow down the collapse. Yep, there you go. How many games earn more than $1 million? A lot of games can earn more than $1 million.
Yeah, there's
and
a
if
lot
they
of
could
games,
earn more,
actually.
then people are going to hope that they could, and that's what everybody wants to be able to do, right? It's just that they're not quite able to. I think that's what the issue is. Biggest developers already dropped Unity, so it's already dead. And that's the issue, right? Is that once the trust is eroded, then everything else kind of goes away afterwards. What's this here? Imagine Xbox went back on their decision to require internet to use the console. Well, they did. They did have to go back on their decision because PlayStation was farming them. That's what happened. It stops the bleeding. Yeah, I think that's the best that they can hope for. Leadership made this decision. It's only damage control. The only thing to truly restore faith is to change leadership. I don't think that's really going to matter, honestly. I think that the problem is, again, getting the trust back from a community like that is so hard, especially because it's a business-based community.
True.
But I do think that this will stop people from immediately leaving.
Yeah, they're gonna stick around
leaving Unity
because they don't have to
Why
pay
are people
yet.
shitting on Xbox for trying to buy Nintendo? Isn't it a normal thing? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's something totally different. Brand damage is often unfixable. Yeah, look at like what happened for Blizzard. Yeah, I think that what happened with Blizzard, like anytime Blizzard does anything, it's bad. How much did the other engines charge? Unreal is like 5%, something like that. So I think 5%.
Okay,
I mean, like,
5% versus 2.5.
at this point, they just have to. It's not about being better than Unreal. It's about being more trustworthy than Unreal.
True.
And that's what matters more than actually having a better revenue split. CD Projekt Red also has brand damage during Cyberpunk 2077, so bad that it tanked their portfolio. Yeah, well, look at what happened with Throne and Liberty and NCSoft. Throne and Liberty comes out, the beta comes out, it's such a disaster, NCSoft loses multiple points on their stock because of how bad it is. Even though it was
That's
never in
normal.
competition
That's
with Unreal.
normal.
I think that to a degree it is, and like, I know what you're saying, right? Because like Unreal is used primarily for 3D, and Unity is used primarily for 2D, like for sure. But of course it is there. Just because the two circles here, I'm not saying Unity and Unreal are like this, right? I'm not saying they're like this. But what I am saying is that they're probably like this or like this.
I mean,
So
they are in competition. They are game engines, right? Like, who are you kidding? Like, why are we even talking about this? They're game engines. They're in the same space. They are in competition.
Matter of, do they have overlap? Of course they have overlap.
They do, of
Microsoft
course.
said Xbox doesn't reach 100 million Game Pass subscribers by 2027. They'll shut it down. It's only at 27 million subscribers. Well, I don't think they're probably going to do that realistically. Not at all. You guys don't understand what a Venn diagram is and how Venn diagrams work? You guys being serious? You really actually don't know that? You need to go back to third grade and ask for a refund because they didn't teach you this shit. You think you don't fucking understand what a Venn diagram is? You fucking stupid? As a 3D artist, the whole idea of Unity is mainly 2D. Not true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard a lot. I've looked at this a lot.
I mean, Unity can produce 3D games. To be fair, it's just that a lot of companies that use it on 2D games, right? And in terms of 3D, I can't really find a game that compares to the 3D that Unreal Engine can compare. Or it may be possible. I just haven't seen one, or maybe I forgot. Like, most of the time, I don't really care what the game engine is, as long as the game looks good and plays good. I don't really care about the game engine, to be honest.
And I've heard many times over the past week or
I mean, I don't care which engine it is. It's not like, don't get me wrong. I did say I don't care. I meant like I didn't care which engine the game was using, right? I care about engines, game engines, but I don't really care which engine is being used, as long as it plays well, it looks well, no bugs, etc. Right?
for 2 weeks.
That's important.
That Unity is much more competitive in developing 2D games than Unreal is. And of course it's not it's not black and white, no. But a lot of 2D games, it seems like, are programmed with Unity. Like,
exactly.
Why do people always try to use an extreme to fucking like counter what I'm saying? I didn't say every single fucking 2D game is made with Unity. What the fuck are you talking about? Valheim's made with Unity, it's 3D. No, I didn't fucking say that. That's ridiculous. Jesus Christ.
Chat.
I don't think this is going to help Unity all that much in the long term, but it definitely helps them a lot in the short term.
Well, if they can manage to turn things around, like maybe add better deals for, the companies that are paying for the service, maybe. But the thing is, 2.5% of your revenue is pretty all right? Because other game engines probably charge around the same or more. I don't know.
Glad to see them.
He did say 5% for Unreal. I don't know. I can't confirm that. I don't really. I'm not gonna search that, but you know, if it is true, then 2.5 isn't that bad.
At least address it a little bit. I think they kind of had to at this point. And like, let's look.
Yeah,
at how
at least
their
they didn't
stock was
stay
affected.
silent.
This is the way their stock was affected, and this was 5 days ago. And so you see it was $35,
$34,
and it has gone all the way down to $31.
It's not that bad.
They've lost $3 of stock, which is somewhere around 10%, a little bit less than that, obviously.
It's
do the
fine.
math.
It's fine.
And that's pretty fucking bad. To make a change like this and have your stock drop by 10% in a matter of days. That's bad in one day? Yeah, that's really, really
I
bad.
guess, yeah. I guess
And
in
it
that
seems like
regard,
also
it is
this
bad.
announcement came out, and it didn't really... it seemingly didn't. Maybe it did a little bit of a bump here. Maybe this is whenever they announced it, but then apparently it went back down. So I think that really tells a different story as well.
All right, so yeah, overall, oh, not Diablo. So overall, my thoughts, yeah, they did a bad decision, but they did own up to it. They did apologize. They are making changes, but again, they're not actually changes. They're just kind of delaying the inevitable. It's a good thing that the free plan does not, like, you know, does not get that same treatment. That's good. But the paid plans are gonna get it if you're what is it, 1 million downloads or $1 million in sales. I think $1 million in sales. If you're over $1 million in sales, you can choose between the runtime fees versus the flat percentage fee. So yeah, I think overall this is okay, but Unity is, you know, they're in hot water. I do hope they get out of this situation, you know, because, you know, the Unity engine is pretty good. A lot of games use it, right? And I would want it to keep improving alongside Unreal, because we want more engines, because again, competition, I've said this before, competition is good because it like leads toward a better product, right? So yeah, it is what it is. All we can do is look, observe, and see what happens. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I will link the video in the description below. I'll see you guys. Bye bye. Otskuro. Jane.